What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and oh, there's a new rumor. There was a new test screening, apparently, of Aquaman 2 that directly refutes some of the reports about screen time removal, in addition to some other some other bad news in terms of the AH that we need to discuss. All this stemming from, obviously the court decision that was made and the deluge of news afterwards. I want to start with, I don't want to bury the lead. I want to start with, of course, a tweet that's been reported by, Andy Signor. This apparently is a reliable source, at least according to him, writing, just got confirmation that the latest Aquaman 2 test screening was held today and still had her from start to finish. Probably Warner Brothers is testing the waters with the public now that the trial's over. Screen time, approximately 20 to 25 minutes. So that would be roughly double what people thought. And, what I've said from the start is that, if she's in this at all, people are not going to be satisfied. You see a lot of the replies. If she's even in 1 second of the film, I will not go see it. Warner Brothers should understand this and not F around, cut her completely out, recast and reshoot. You have darn near a year to do it. Yes, they do have plenty of time still to do that. Apparently Warner Brothers hasn't learned lessons from Fantastic Beasts 3. Keeping her in the movie will cause it to tank. When you talk about Fantastic Beasts 3, look, I don't think this franchise was like in an amazing place at the box office anyway. I thought the first movie was okay, but the second one was not very good. And I don't know about the third one. I definitely did not feel like running out to the cinema to see it, especially after the second one. But this movie has lost money. It's like the curse of the JD removal. At a budget of $200 million, The Secrets of Dumbledore will have to earn around $800 million if it's to recover its budget. I'm not sure where that. Usually, I've heard it's double that, so I don't know where they're going to 4x. But it doesn't matter because it just tanked at the box office. It's been more than 2 weeks since the release of this. Is back 2 weeks, a little while ago, and nobody seems to care about the movie. Sure, people have watched it at the global box office. Collection appears to be approaching a respectable $300 million. But it's nowhere near what a time-tested franchise is supposed to inspire and earn. This is a movie set in the same world as the cultural phenomenon and box office behemoth that was the Harry Potter series. It also shares the same creative team. David Yates at the helm of the franchise, just like he was with the last 3 Potter films. But for some reason, the franchise continues to be a case of diminishing returns. I don't think that this movie would have done amazing. But what I do think is that if they had not cut JD from it, you would have had another potentially 500,000 to 1 million people that would have saw this movie. So maybe that means, another 15 to 30 million, 40 million. I don't think it would have been enough to make the 600 million it would have needed to break even or even turn a profit. They have huge names in this film like Jude Law and the Mads Mikkelsen. By the way, people forget that they fired Johnny and still had to pay him his full salary, plus then pay for a replacement. So, the negative press definitely had took a toll on this film. It's almost certain that it did. But you can expect the same kind of reaction if they don't make a move to Aquaman 2. You can also see some of the audience reactions. Few audience feedbacks from Aquaman 2, according to Undercover Audience. This is liked Momoa, Patrick Wilson, and the buddy comedy act. Action set pieces. Disliked AH. Screenplay AH. And largely the campy and cheesy humor. And finally AH. So, it looks like a lot of the fans are aware. Now, this whole thing is like, it's not some like obscure TikTok thing where people are pissed off about it. Like, there's absolutely a ton of normies that know about this situation. And of course you have, this was the report just a few weeks ago that all of her scenes would be reportedly deleted, and that she was going to, you know, pass away in childbirth, and they were going to try to do that, which is actually a decent spin. But, you know, when we look at the petition right now, I gotta admit, like, this is getting to be a pretty large number. And if you're Warner Brothers, you have to be looking at this and thinking like, well, this is a lot of people that you know, are not happy, that are gonna come out. And again, it's at 4.5 million, but the reason I talk about this number is not because it's a massive amount of people. By the way, I'd love to have that many subscribers. So if you're just viewing now, make sure you take a second to click that red subscribe button. That would be absolutely amazing. But this is 4.5 million people. Let's just say 10% of them mobilize. You have 450,000 people ready and waiting for you to release this movie and just dump all over it in the reviews, on every tweet you make, on every Facebook post you make, on every press tour, on every in every movie theater. You're going to have his fans show up and make a mockery of it. I don't care if Jason likes her. I don't care if the directors and them like her. I think from a business perspective, you're going to have to remove the role. And I do think that there's also a very real likelihood that it's still going to be, I mean, it's definitely still going to be damaged. You're still going to have a situation where people are soured to the movie. There will be people that don't even know that she got cut, that are already kind of unplugged from caring about the movie. And it's just, the damage has been done. You see on the petition, which is now at 4.6 million subscribers or signs, you just have a very, very active. This is, I think, one of, if not the biggest petitions on the entire website. And it's not going well. This on top of news that their former, one of their many former homes has gone up for sale, hits the market at 1.76 million. Now the thing is that people are reporting this like it's a big deal about her. They don't even own it. So like people are like, oh, their old penthouse, blah 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 blah. No. Like they don't even own it. It's being sold for the second time since they got rid of it. Of course, yesterday we talked about you know, the media's reaction to, and now we had the New York Times come out, and they're still like worried about the effect on the Me Too movement and how that, you know, this verdict has ruined it, when really just it's the lies that ruined it. And you see this in the debatable newsletter. Is the Me Too movement dying? I mean, it's been dead for years. I mean, I haven't heard anyone use that term unironically in a long time. I do think that, quote, the movement revealed some genuine pieces of garbage, like Harvey or Larry or Bill. These guys are all trash, okay? So it did do some good. The problem with it is that it was far more often and far too often weaponized against, you know, either, you know, just mediocre behavior or just made up lies, you know, ruined lives. Remember Chris Hardwick? A baseless lie about him almost cost him everything. He was hosting the Talking Dead. He was, you know, he's at the Nerdist, I think, still. And it was just baloney. And people were just like, we're going to walk off the show if you don't fire this guy, based on, again, zero evidence. And so this article talks about the rise and fall of it and stuff like that. But it's funny because you see Chris writing, on what planet does a brand, even Duolingo, think it's cool to crack jokes about an alleged victim of bad behavior? The JD fandom bubble on TikTok is very real, but no brand should get anywhere near it. I disagree. I think it's great marketing. All they did, their whole, it's not even a joke. It just said, y'all think she watches TikTok? That's all they wrote. And like a lot of these people were writing these comments like, oh, there's all sorts of vile comments flooding everybody around. And there was like nothing. You know, like nothing that would constitute like this kind of media overreaction. But, you know, that is, of course, what they do. And, you know, I think we're probably kind of getting to the end here of the cycle. I think it's important, as was pointed out by Popcorn Planet, a lot of these outlets are coming out and saying she's definitely removed. When I covered that fact that she was removed, I said it, you know, you got to wait for Warner Brothers to say something like this. Now it seems like the test screening did not go over well at all, and they actually had more of her in there. So they're going to take that feedback probably into their mind holes and decide what, if anything, they need to do going forward. I'm guessing they are going to cut her at some point. I think they're just going to wait and try to do a little more quietly once the press like mania kind of dies down, because there's no way they want to what happened to Fantastic Beasts to happen to them. I'm not saying that it was exactly the same, but certainly many millions were lost, not just in people that paid to see the movie, but people that would review the movie, or people that would pay to see the movie, or people that would tell their friends to go see the movie. And if the screenings aren't going well, in particular because of her, it just makes sense to make that cut. But, you know, I'm not a Hollywood ideologue, and I try to make decisions from an unbiased perspective. So who knows? Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you again real soon.